Hey guys, I'm David. I want to start with a weird question. What if COVID-19 didn't happen in 2019, but instead happened in the year 219, during the Three Kingdoms period in China? Would history still be the same? Would Cao Cao lose the Battle of Red Cliffs because of strategy, or because of pandemic? As a history fan and a bit of tech nerd, I decided not to guess. I built a simulation to find out. The algorithm that I use is a classical mathematical model called the SIR model. It's commonly used to study how infectious diseases spread, but the idea behind it is actually very simple. Instead of tracking who each person is, the model only cares about their state. S means susceptible, people who can still get infected. I means infectious, people who are infected and can spread the disease. R means removed, people who recovered, were isolated, or are immune. Everyone moves in one direction, from S to I, then to R. The whole system is about how these numbers change over time. At the very beginning, I started with the simplest possible idea, a classic SIR model. Each person is just a moving dot. They can be susceptible, infected, or removed. If an infected dot gets close enough to a healthy one, there's a chance the virus spreads. No map, no borders, just motion, distance, and probability. Then I can change the initial population size of Wei, Shu, and Wu independently. That is how people are distributed across different regions. That means I can test questions like, what happens if Wei is much larger than Shu? Or if Wu starts with a denser population? Then I added a full set of control parameters. For example, movement speed, mortality rate, initial number of infected individuals, and whether borders are open or closed. Border control is especially interesting. With border control enabled, people are restricted to their own kingdom. With it disabled, cross-border movement becomes possible. Just flipping this one switch can completely reshape the outbreak curve. I also wanted control over where the outbreak begins. The virus can start randomly or be seeded specifically in Wei, Shu, or Wu. Same parameters, same virus. Just a different starting point, and the entire timeline changes. But something was still missing. In the real world, people don't mix evenly, they gather. So I introduced population hubs, places like military camps and markets. These locations attract people, keep them together for a period of time, and dramatically increase local contact rates. Once I added these hubs, outbreaks were no longer smooth and symmetrical. They became clustered, bursty, and much harder to predict. At that point, the simulation started to feel less like math and more like society. And that's exactly when I decided to place the entire system onto a real map. When I started using the map, the first big problem surprised me. Maps are intuitive for humans, but meaningless to computers. At the beginning, my simulation didn't recognize Wei, Shu, or Wu at all. For the computer, the map was just a PNG image. So people crossed borders, walked through walls, and even moved across the ocean. To fix this, I introduced pixel analysis. Basically, the program reads the color of each pixel on the map. If a pixel is blue, it's Wei territory, movement allowed. If it's transparent, it's the ocean, movement blocked. That's when the map finally became a set of rules, not just a background. But even with borders working, something still felt wrong. When I added places like military camps or markets, all the dots rushed there at once, and once they arrived, they never left. Mathematically, this wasn't wrong, but socially it made no sense. People don't live permanently inside a market, so I added a time-based behavior system. During the day, people are more likely to go to markets or camps. At night, they return to their home regions. This created realistic population cycles, and infection risk now changes dynamically over time. Borders are locked. The outbreak begins in Wei. Inside Wei, the virus spreads normally, but Shu and Wu remain almost untouched. Same virus, same parameters. Just one decision: close the gates Now, I open the borders. Nothing else changes. And suddenly, Wei is no longer isolated. The virus doesn't respect history or alliances. It only follows movement. Next, I increase the mortality rate. In this model, death means disappearance. No recovery, no memory. And within minutes, an entire population can vanish from the map. Numbers go down quietly, but visually, the loss is impossible to ignore. Societies are not evenly mixed. People gather. So I added military camps and markets. These places pull people together. And when people gather, viruses don't wait. Local decisions become global consequences. From this perspective, I can control everything: borders, movement, death. One click, and history takes a different path. It's powerful, and a little unsettling. This simulation doesn't predict the future, but it does reveal something important. Epidemics are not just biological events. They are shaped by policy, structure, and human behavior. From a God's eye view, everything looks easy to change. Inside the system, every change has a cost. SIR models aren't just about diseases. They can also model information spread, rumors, network viruses, or even historical events. History isn't static, it's a dynamic system. And with code and math, we can debug the past and simulate the alternative futures. I'm David, and this was my attempt to rewrite the Three Kingdoms with code.